When would now be a good time to tune in? You got it now. I'm Joseph Mojo McCarthy. I'm your co-host, and momentarily we'll be joined by, there he is, Dan, with the bard, composer, and awesome Mary. And we have teamed up to create the Now Show on the fly. It's happening right now. And in fact, we never really know what's going to happen until it happens. Right. So, hey, Dan and Mary, when would now be a good time to create a new episode of the Now Show? Right now, baby. That's right. All right. So let's do this. Now it is. All right. So I'm going to start. We don't have a video this morning as we often do, but we're going to have live music anyway. So let me scroll to my tabs and see what I got here. So I am out in Colorado right now at the home of my cousin who I just met because I didn't know I had her until recently, and so I get to be in the mountains here in the trees, and it reminded me of this song, which is a tribute to creation and the world that we live in. I see trees green, red roses too. I see the blue for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies blue, clouds of white, a bright blessed day, and the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, the colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of the people going by. I see friends shaking hands. Whoop. What happened there? That's what happens when you're using a new keyboard. Okay, let's go back to there. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I will ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, yeah. Bard, we cannot hear you, sir. Unmic, unmute, so you can join
I am
us.
now unmuted.
There we go.
Woohoo! We're all here.
We're all here. Gang's all here.
Awesome. Well, that was beautiful. And what a beautiful start to the week.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Day one of week 4 of the Now Show live.
That's right. Yeah. Well, and I want to just first alert folks to the fact that they can come and join our listening lounge on Chatmosa. This is week 4, day 1, and otherwise known as right now. So
there is your QR code there.
Right there. And then it's now. So This is what, yeah, isn't that nice? We just did that on Friday, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
So the goal for today and tomorrow is actually a bit of a workshop, which I'm excited about. And in the spirit of now, this is kind of where we're at in this. You know, we're in week 4. We've done this for a little while. We still have a long way to go. So Mojo and Mary and myself have not had this like long-term planning to make this show. We have not been plotting and raising funds for 2 years to make something called the Now Show.
We haven't even had We haven't even really had short-term planning for that matter.
We have not even had short-term planning. No, we have not yet. yet.
Yeah,
And
right.
that's what we're doing right now,
Now,
today. We're starting our short-term planning. So I want to pass it to one of you so I can still share it out right now to
Sure.
the lovely listeners. Who wants to take the mic?
Well, let's get Mary in the show now because we haven't featured her yet.
Mary.
Awesome, Mary. So
Hi,
awesome,
Mary.
Mary. Awesome, Mary.
You're here. You're here
Awesome,
right
Mary
now.
jumped in, day one as a listener and was very active in the chat and immediately rose to the cream rose to the top, and she became producer basically on day one. So Mary, welcome. What's up? Awesome, Mary.
And this is why she's producer, because she's already like all over the chat and everything.
Yeah.
Oh no, we can't hear you. Oh, maybe I can't hear you.
I can hear.
Okay.
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. It's just Dan.
It's just me. That's okay. Go for it, Mary.
Yep.
Oh, hey, Mary, we're hearing you from Chatmosa. That's why you can hear Mojo.
Yeah, so turn the mic on in Restream and the mic off in Chatmosa.
Got it. All right.
There we go.
Which
Wow.
is cool. I mean, I love this is the great behind the scenes stuff that we like about the Now Show is that for the listeners, it's not all produced. It's not all slick and all together. We're learning how to do this together on the fly in public. And that's pretty rare. As far as I know, at least I haven't seen a lot of people do this. Most people think they have to get all the answers done before they launch into something. And I just want to point out here what I learned. One of the things I've learned from Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi's team, they say, there's the tyranny of how often keeps people from doing anything, keeps them from moving towards the direction of their dreams, because that very reason they feel like I have to know how to do it before I can do it. And they're saying you don't know how you do it until you do it, right? It's in the doing that you learn how it works, because all the planning and all the theory and all the knowledge is really useless until you get into the practical application, the actual live experience. So many of the great leaders that are talking about personal development, they say you don't know what you're doing until you do it. So do it, and then you'll know, rather than vice versa. We get all mixed up. And so Tony often says, don't get caught up in the tyranny of the how. He says, if your what is clear and your why is compelling, the how will present itself. And it actually presents itself in every now step. You take a step and then you realize, well, that was good or bad or otherwise. You adjust accordingly, course correct, and then you take another step. It's not like you know the destination before you start. The destination is the journey is the destination, I should say.
Yeah, well, I kind of jumped the gun a little bit, but I was going to say that just got me thinking that the tyranny of how usurps the now. And
come on, capture that. Somebody capture that. Mary, get on it.
She's already on. She already did this one.
Tyranny, what? The tyranny?
The tyranny of how usurps the now.
Yeah.
And that's got the Monday mojo flowing.
That's right.
Right.
And say it one more time. The tyranny of the how.
The tyranny of how usurps.
Okay.
It's kind of like that hostile takeover. Usurps the now.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I
know. I have to. That's not Monday morning terminology.
Boom, boom, boom. That's good stuff. Yeah. And just to sink in our teeth into that a little bit more, just think that's not just a great phrase. That's actually why people often don't move in the direction of their dreams, because the tyranny of how is then. How is what will happen in the future. So if I'm always worried about how to do it, I'm not in the now, I'm in the then. And you can't do anything then. You can only do things now. But the truth is, none of us can do anything except for now. That's the only time we can do things. Now we can bring the past into the future, into the present, and learn from the past. And we can imagine the future, but we can't do anything in the past or the future. We can only do anything right now. So don't let as Dan said, don't let the tyranny of how, which is the future, usurp the now, which is the only time you can actually do anything.
Wow. That's so true. That's so true.
And I'm right now lost in the now. I'm trying to share this from my Bartlett profile, which is here. Let me take center stage, just because I'm going to be talking about our sponsors and the people who are.
Introduce yourself, Dan, because not everybody knows you yet.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Hey, I'm Dan. I go by Bard on the X platform for right now because I'm combining a few different brands. And one of those brands is actually our presenting sponsor. So I want to just highlight them. That's PEAR-coin. It's PEAR-coin.xyz, which I'll be putting in the Chat Mosa listening lounge, which you can join anytime. This is going to be open Monday through Friday.
You can only join it now, Dan.
You can only join it now, just right now. Do it now, and we'll see when you scan the QR code. We get a little notification, apparently. But now is a great time to join the listening lounge because, as you can see, we have a couple of goodies that we'll be putting up there as we go through. And Mary's already lit up the chat on fire here too.
Awesome, producer Mary.
Awesome, Mary. Yeah. If we are always worried in the how, we won't move forward. That's so true. But so this, I just wanted to highlight, PEAR-coin.xyz is, it's a meme coin, and I am still learning about meme coins. But what I love about meme coins is that they usually have a lot of really cool people that, PEAR is no exception there. I actually met Mrs. Pixel, who is on the PEAR team, and Mr. Pixel, and I met them in October. I actually did a singing challenge with Mrs. Pixel, and like Awesome Mary did with this project, Mrs. Pixel hopped in on like day 2 of a 30-day challenge I came up with, the How Can I Keep From Singing challenge, all about how I can't keep from singing. I really can't. I have to sing all the time. And that was just a magic kind of like this. So I think we're building magic on top of magic.
Yes, love it.
I love it.
PEAR-coin.xyz.
We're making mind babies. We're making mind babies.
We're making mind babies.
We are.
That's right. So I'm just also demonstrating in real time how easy it is to post something into Chat Mosa. This is in the Jumbotron. So this is, if you click on here, you can go to the PEAR-coin. Let's see, am I still featuring it? This is where there we go. Yeah, I am. So if you click on this PEAR, it'll take you to the PEAR-coin website, and you can learn all about PEAR and hear their the trials of a PEAR if you're in that space. If you're not, it's a good entrance into that space. The other really cool thing you can do on Chat Mosa is like, look, I can see, why am I not showing myself? I can see all 3 of us. Our cameras are live in Chat Mosa. And you can actually watch the broadcast right here, right now.
When?
And now. Right. That's the now. Yep. You can also just kind of, see this little card that we made, paying tribute to the sponsors. But I can click on, let's say, Mojo, and I can visit his X/Twitter page. And it goes right there to see how incredible Mojo is. And then I can also go back and I can click on Awesome Mary.
Can remove them from the session. No, I'm just kidding.
Or I can remove them from a session. I can mute the participant. Wait, no. So then I can see how awesome Mary is in real time. Check that out. And look, I think both of you have your tips turned on, right? So you can pay them a tip right there. Yeah, see that's all. And then myself, I'm gonna do the painful thing and highlight myself.
Do it. Do it now.
Yeah. So like I'm logged in with my LinkedIn profile.
Now's the time.
Now's the time. Yeah. Chat Mosa connects X, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, Microsoft, and Google. I did it.
Look how fast that was, Dan.
Look at that. Getting there. Yeah. So I'm logged in through LinkedIn.
It's a fairy.
What was it? That was the ring alert.
Yeah, it is. It's a ring alert.
I know that only because we have 2 ring cameras. But I'm like, was that my ring?
It's a fairy.
I think an angel's just got some wings. That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So just wanted to highlight that. How cool Chat Mosa is.
We got distracted, Dan. Please let everybody know a little bit about you. We never got to do
me. Oh, you said introduce myself. So then, of course, I introduced everybody else in Chat Mosa and our sponsors. Yeah. So, hey, I'm Dan. I'm a composer, performer, and educator. and Chief Academic Officer of the David Z Foundation, where we transform lives through the magic of music. And what I get to do on a daily basis is work with schools around the world, and we make music videos and use project-based learning to make the songs that make these videos. And then a school or organization gets a professionally made music video, and that's what we do. So I feel very fortunate.
Oh, cool, man! I've seen just a few of them.
That's
just,
awesome.
Just seen a few of the videos. I'm like, just tear my heart out because it's so good.
Well, and we got to actually meet.
Is that
What's that, Mary?
He goes,
my heart. I was torn out of my chest. Oh my goodness.
There it is.
So Joe, we got to actually meet in person through a DZF event. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience with that? Do you remember like this whole like thing at NAMM?
What are we talking? Oh, there. Oh, yes. Just that little thing. Well, you said
bump, set, spike.
Yeah. Let me catch up. Let me hurry up and catch up with the rest, for I am their leader. Anyway,
Wow.
A very big story. I'll make it as small as I can. I was performing live on Karaoke, I believe, which is a part of the PEAR-coin world universe. Karaoke. Tell people when they can join Karaoke, and then I'll take the story from there.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. So yeah, I also just got. You see, we're getting the swing of this. So one of the things you'll find on PEARcoin.xyz is that karaoke is on Thursdays at 3 p.m. PST. That stands for PEAR Standard Time. I actually think we're on PDT now, PEAR Daylight Time. Okay. Because we've come into daylight savings here in these United States. But yes, that is when you can do karaoke is 3 o'clock PDT or PST, PEAR Standard or Daylight Time on Thursdays.
So the PDT actually might stand for PEAR Daria Time, because I
PEAR Daria.
Join
PEAR, not double dog dare. It's a triple dog dare.
A triple dog. Skipped right to triple dog dare. So
oh yeah.
Stick your tongue on the frozen pole and see what happens. No, that's a whole other reference.
Actually, I played Scott Farkas, the bully, in a staged version of the Christmas Carol. So bringing back memories. I was the bully, Mojo.
Wow. Yeah, I think that's typecasting, I guess, right?
I know, right?
You're the opposite of Scott Farkas. Anyway, so I was joined Dan and Mike Stiles in their karaoke space on a Thursday, singing along, and so Dan got to know my musical abilities, and he said, "Hey, I'm responsible for putting together a choir for the NAMM, which is the National Association of Music Merchants, huge music show for music industry people, in my backyard, basically." And Dan says, "Don't you live somewhere down there?" And I said, "Yeah, I've wanted to go to NAMM for 35 years." And he says, "Well, how about you join my choir, and then you'll be not just a member of NAMM, you actually be a performer, which means you get backstage passes and access to everything." And I said, "Here, let me think about that." Yes, okay.
Right now.
Yeah, now, exactly. So Dan and I actually got to meet. Dan lives in the Pacific Northwest, and I live in Southern California, but we all converged in Anaheim at the NAMM show, and we were on stage, not just our choir, but a children's choir, a full orchestra, and a band of all-stars musicians with huge experience, Grammy Award winners, etc. And together we created a 40th anniversary tribute to the song "We Are the World," written by Lionel Richie and Michael Jackson and produced by Quincy Jones. All of that was awesome enough, but then it got filmed and they created this great video, which is now just going viral on YouTube. So how I got to be a part of that, I just showed up for karaoke and sang my song, and everything snowballed for there. Did I plan that? Did I manifest that? Did I even imagine that was possible? No. And yet it all happened. So yay!
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, and
the right place at the right time.
Exactly. And I just put that in the Jumbotron on Chatmosa so that for the rest of the internet, then it'll be in this daisy chain we're making of week to week shows. And I started talking about that, but I also think I got distracted by that too. So I want to just talk about what our intention. I know, but over these next 2 days, and I think this is a good launch into this, we're going to be doing a little bit of an internal workshop, but externally shared. So we're going to be building in public kind of the infrastructure of this Now show. And the idea is, and this is the original idea I'm still super excited about, and I feel like you guys might be too, that we just meet during these, no, we meet Monday through Friday during this time-ish. We have typically a pretty soft start. I know Tuesdays, at least for the rest of this semester, are going to be challenging to start at 8 because I'm teaching in Chicago until 8. So it's always going to be probably a little bit later.
But you know what time we do start? I know what time we start every day.
When?
Now.
That's right. Yeah. So, but we meet at this like now-ish time, which is always the right now. It's not right now. It's the right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got that from Awesome Mary. Absolutely.
Yep. That one. Yeah. Credit to Awesome Mary on that one. And then we always have a very strict cutoff of 9 a.m. because we all got to do other things. So we're going to be building the how we do the now. And, you know, we're doing the now, and we're not going to let the tyranny of how usurp the now. We're going to explore the how right now. So that's what we're doing.
Oh,
yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, see what I did there? Circular reasoning and circular logic.
How now,
It's
brown
like that.
cow?
How now, brown cow? That has got to be some sort of tie-in there.
We're going to make it a song. We're going to make a How Now, Brown Cow song.
How now, brown cow? There we go.
Explore the how right now.
Right now, since the We Are the World picture is there, that if you zoom in very closely, at the very end of the first row of the adult choir, you see a guy in a black cap. That's me on stage with all the cool dudes and the dudettes. And Dan is actually right behind me.
Oh, I am right behind. I can see me.
We can see both of us.
Wait, here. Let's see. If I zoom in on Chat Mosa.
I want to see.
There.
Where are
Can you see?
Yeah, so I'm
There's
there with
me.
Oh,
See, I've got the
Mojo.
headphones
He's
on.
behind
I'm playing
you.
strings.
right behind me. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so cool to be charged with organizing that choir. And I've got to give a shout out to Karen, who organized the orchestra. She contracted the orchestra. So Karen Garrity Music. I'll put her website up here too. And also, this is Barbara Silberg. She directs the West LA Children's Choir. And this is Rogelio Resendevez. He directs the Cantara Street Elementary Choir. And then a whole bunch of people were from the Angeles Chorale here, but then also just musicians we kind of knew or met or seemed cool online. We just brought together, you know. And the same with the orchestra. It was very much this meeting of nows, really. So it was an interesting experience.
To take that theme a little bit further, I was observing Dan in action the first time I met him in person, and he was creating orchestrations on the fly and finalizing and passing out music, you know, during rehearsal. And there was this one moment where the lead singer was rehearsing an operette, an opera piece, and
Nessun Dorma, yeah.
There you go. And the
Which
ending
is released this week.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, here, this is a guy with a rock star voice, and he's singing opera, which I was fascinated by anyway. But the end of this piece, there was a certain portion of the orchestration where there's like a fermata and then a different bar. And then, but the singer had in his mind, he wanted it to go a certain way, and the orchestration had a couple extra beats. And so there was this moment where there was tension, not negative tension, but just this conflict of here's what the singer wants to do, here's what the orchestra has in front of them, which is all printed music. And in the now moment, they worked it out between the conductor and Dan, who's the composer, and the first year violinist, who's an incredible musician. And they were just talking live in front of all of us and saying, okay, where's the disconnect here? Okay, take out this 2 beats. Let's try that. That doesn't work. Change the fermata. That doesn't work. And they're all doing it on the fly. And then they said, okay, here's what we do. Cut that measure out. You're going to skip from here to there. They rehearsed it, went perfectly. And then we did it live in the show just that evening. And I was just observing the whole thing going, we're doing it now. They were doing it now on the fly.
And we all felt it. I mean, I'm curious if you felt it in that moment too. Just, you know, because you were also in the piece. You had those 2 glorious measures where the choir comes in.
Right. Yeah.
Like, did you feel that when it just kind of locked in and then Polly was like, oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so the lead singer gives Pauly Z, amazing voice, I mean, huge range, and he sang all the parts for We Are the World, mimicked the original singers, male and female.
It's Cyndi Lauper. Yeah, Cyndi Lauper nailed it.
Yeah, I heard it. It was
So
amazing. It was really amazing. Yeah.
and he was such a great spirit about him. He's like, I don't want to mess this up, but here's where I've rehearsed it. This is how it's going. And the conductor of the orchestra, he's like, I'm going to follow you, man. We're going to follow you. And so it just took a while to figure out where's the disconnect between what Pauly's going to sing and what we have on our printed music. And so it was I call it a dynamic tension. It wasn't negative, but there was a disconnect. There's this, right, okay. And the music starts right on cue. But there was this dynamic tension between everybody. I mean, there's a lot of people on stage. I bet there was 100 people on stage, maybe, or close to that.
Oh, yeah, more than that.
Maybe more.
The choir itself was 120.
Okay, yes, yeah.
Yeah, and then we had an orchestra, I think, of 65. Yeah, there's nearly 200 people because we had the rock stars too.
Yeah, 200
and then
people.
There were like 4,500 people in the audience. So
and keep in mind, this is just hours before the live performance.
Yeah,
this is our first rehearsal all together, and so there's this dynamic tension going on between what the lead singer, he's the featured guy on the song, and we're all his backup orchestra and choir, and trying to figure out where do we need to change? What do we need to change in order to support the main vocalist? And it was very fascinating how that all worked together. Nobody was angry, nobody's upset, just trying to figure out where's the disconnect. Everybody's adjusting according to what needs to be done. And once it locked in, it was like, whew, just like, okay, now that's it. And then we rehearsed it and it was perfect and everybody's happy and we move on.
Yeah.
Well, and nailed it in the performance, by the way. The performance was
absolutely stunning. Yeah, I can't wait for you to hear it. What's that mean?
You're creating history.
Yeah.
You know, that was awesome.
Yeah, well, and it's so timely that piece is actually going to be released this week. And I can tell you, I was working behind the scenes with Pauly and the rest of the team, getting this video ready and kind of beefing up the music and reliving that moment. I can't wait for you to hear it, and it's going to be absolutely stunning. But the other piece that, and just to kind of tell some more stories, because that's what we do a lot of, you know, and the whole, the goal for this is really to have people tell their stories, and especially how creativity and forward motion in the now really ties in. So that night was not only very close to the actual 40th anniversary of the recording session. And we actually released this video on the 40th anniversary of the recording session. But it was also a 10-year anniversary of working with Pauly. So before that, I was working as a substitute teacher. And also, I was touring with an artist named Taichi from Croatia. And so I toured with Taichi for about 3 years, like 2 to 7 week tours. And that was like something I never expected to do, just coming out of college with a vocal and composition degree. I wasn't thinking about touring. I was thinking about writing musical theater and opera. And then I just got into this whole touring gig. And then Taichi moved to Nashville after 3 years of touring, and she's like, just doesn't make so much sense to fly you from California when I'm living in Nashville. And I'm like, I get it. But I had this experience that I wasn't expecting, and I knew I would miss it. So I actually looked. This is I don't think I've ever broadcast this, but I joke about it with Pauly all the time. For the first and last time in my life, I went on Craigslist and I was looking for a touring gig in California because I knew I would miss touring so much. And so then Pauly, at the same time, for the first and last time, went on Craigslist, and he was really getting into this world of education. He had toured with Kiss and Poison with his band ZO2, and he and his brother David, who the David Z Foundation is named after, they had started this music nonprofit in New York called Rock Asylum. And so he was kind of getting in this nonprofit and education world sort of unexpectedly, and he was looking for somebody to help. And I was like, okay, this looks like a cool gig. I don't know He's looking for somebody interested in music, education, and film. So I'm like, those are my 3 passions. So, okay. So I applied, and then I got the gig, and then I had lived at the time in very far northeastern California. He assumed I was applying from LA. So he's like, hey, really excited to start working together. And can we meet like in Van Nuys, whatever, at such and such time? I'm like, well, that's like a 13-hour drive for me. And he's like, what? So that was a first really interesting conversation.
Sure.
But, that was 10 years ago from about the time of NAMM. And so that first time I met him, what he had brought me down to NAMM in 2015. And I was kind of having a similar experience that you had, like, oh my gosh, like this is bigger than I could have even imagined. And that was the experience. And so I don't know if you knew this, but I kind of got this idea as I saw a whole bunch of the orchestral members were still there. I had the whole orchestra sign the score for Nessun Dorma for him.
No way.
And it was just like this moment. There's like, okay, I should do that. And I think I got all of them, if not, most if not all of them. And then I gave it to him backstage, and it was like this really cool moment like, hey, here's what happened 10 years ago. Yeah. Like I was just like looking for this gig, and now look at this. We're on the NAMM Arena stage with 4,500 people. There's 200 people on stage, and neither of us saw it coming. So
I want to point out what may be obvious to some who are listening, but Dan just told the story about how he got connected with Polly Z, ends up on the NAMM stage. If none of that had happened, I wouldn't be on the stage with Dan on the We Are the World tribute, right? So all of the stuff
it's interesting.
All the stuff that happened in Dan's life had to happen the way it happened for me to have the experience that I had, right? And actually for us to be here, the 3 of us here, it's all unfolding, as it. I call this idea came to me a few months ago. Well, but maybe a year ago. I was on the golf course. I was on the 9th tee, and this is where I get these called downloads. And suddenly this revelation comes to me and says, Joe, life is like origami, but in reverse. And I'm like, origami in reverse, what's that mean?
Whoa.
Life unfolds, it unfolds. You can't force it open, but as it unfolds, you find out all the beautiful stuff that's hidden in the creases and the crevices. And I was like, holy cow, life is origami in reverse. And that's not something I would have come up with on my own, because I can't do origami and I don't really care about it. But the picture, the metaphor just comes to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, write that down, share that with somebody, right? And that applies to what we're talking about here, in that Dan's life unfolded in a way that he couldn't have predicted, and it didn't even seem like it was even connected. And now that unfolded into me being on the show, on the NAMM stage with Dan, and now into the Now show. It's all unfolding to create something beautiful that we can't see until it unfolds. And we can't force it open, but as it unfolds,
right,
it shows the beauty that's there.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, there's a whole nother layer and leg to that journey, like of getting the tour with Taichi. But I'll say that for another day, because we have 10 minutes left of the Now show today.
Are we doing a drawing? Because we should get a drawing.
I think we should do a drawing. Yeah, and I think tomorrow, let's dive into our first newsletter. I'll just say it on the air now, so people are expecting it.
It's our Now's letter.
It's our Now's letter. Yeah. What is it, the Now Biz or something? Yeah, we're gonna
figure it out. Now, yeah.
Oh,
Now Biz.
Yeah, it's our Now's letter. It's our
official
weekly
Now's letter of the Now show.
Yeah, and here's like the gist of that as we're thinking of what we can draw. I pitched it as a visual newsletter, which I'm now this is where we collaborate, and this is where I open that idea to possibilities that I wasn't thinking before. So that was my original idea, was that it's just a visual newsletter that has links and pictures of our previous guests from the week, so that we can highlight other creators. But in this process, in the next day and a half we have in our workshop, I'd like to just kind of braid these ideas together with the ideas that you guys have. So that we're gonna just at the infrastructure level, I wanna create this together.
Well, it will be origami in reverse. It will unfold as it should.
Yes, and that's where we can't get too prescriptive, but
Right.
we can get descriptive. And the more we observe, the more we can describe.
Hold on, let's capture that. The more we observe, the more we can describe. That's
Right.
That's pretty deep.
Well,
Dan.
if we get prescriptive with life, we can get really precious about it. And then we can hold on to that prescriptive notion of, well, this was supposed to happen. And
Right.
why didn't this happen? And
Right.
that should have happened then. But now it's now, and it still hasn't happened.
Yes.
Well,
So,
okay, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
You're going to do something now. And what is that thing?
What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do about it?
How you do it?
No, what do you?
Well, Mary's just going like Mary's going Mary in the chat.
Of course.
That's got to be a verb or an
She's
no. That's
she's going all Mary on us.
that's Is that would be an adverb, right? Merrily.
You can ask me about grammar? Come on, that's too early. I've only had 3 cups of coffee, man.
Wait for it.
Okay.
Wait for it.
We need to put an AI drawing in here somewhere. Wait. That's backwards. I'm silently correcting your grammar. Okay.
Oh yeah, I love that.
That's what I had on my desk all 8 years as a teacher.
Awesome.
Yes. Okay. I feel like we should maybe do origami.
Yes, I was going to say let's do something origami related. Yeah.
Whoa, that was epic. That was an epic.
That is our AI theme music. Drawing prompt theme music right there.
Drawing prompt theme music.
I am going to have to take this. I'm going to have to take this call.
No, go for it. Go for it.
All right.
Go for it. I can do this. There we go. Mary, just give us a thumbs up.
Yeah, when you're ready.
Yep.
To come back.
Okay. So let's go to our I guess our AI sponsor for the show is Pixio. Because I kind of swear by Pixio. Not in a bad way.
Stop that swearing, Dan. No swearing.
Stop that swearing.
Mouth out with soap.
All right. So let's grab our prompt. And I'm loving how this prompt is adapting.
Yeah.
It's adapting with us. It's like it's growing up with us.
It's evolving.
This is where we even created our now icon.
Yes, which I love.
Okay, so not a bumblebee. We want an origami what?
The first thing that always comes to mind for me in origami is a swan. So let's go with that.
Origami swan. You know what's interesting about swans is that we think of a swan song. A swan song.
Are you from Joyce? I'm from Joyce.
I'm a swan song from Joyce. Oh boy. Oh boy. Origami swan. Let's have it singing.
In flight. Singing in flight.
Singing in flight. Now this is we're gonna probably have to simplify this, but let's see.
Right. Yeah.
It's an 8-step drawing tutorial. Oh, what? Well, this is interesting. It's just one little. It's a bee. Oh, you know why? Because I have the bumblebee. I forgot. I added
you just
another
a new species.
reference. I did of the swan's form. Swan bee. That could be a whole thing. But let's not
make a whole thing. We can make a whole thing out of anything, Dan. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. Oh wow, this is we're folding napkins.
Okay. Oh, it's a tutorial.
It is, yeah, but it's really not logical. Let's try to simplify.
How about
I'll just get rid of that. Yeah, I'm learning how in my prompting I'm a little too precious and prescriptive, so right. I need to be. Look at that. That's way better.
Let it go. Oh, there we go. So this doesn't look like origami though necessarily yet.
No. Let's origami. Let's say folded paper.
Mm-hmm, right.
We're getting there.
Right. And you wanted it singing, which I like that idea.
Oh, look at this. That's kind
Oh,
of nice.
we're getting there now. We're getting
We
there.
need music. Let's say ostensibly singing. I don't know why that.
Well, every time you put those words in, like what was the one? Vibrant.
It was vivacious. Vivacious.
Oh my.
Oh, look, see, this is ostensible, but it's not singing. It's flying. It's ostensibly flying. Let's say singing.
Now this might be too complicated, but you could say if you put unfolding in there somewhere, would that mess it up? Might.
Oh boy. Well, let's see what happens.
Who knows where
the entire sequence captures the essence of, let's say, instead of a pencil drawing,
a paper
of unfolding paper.
Yeah, unfolded paper swan, something like that. I don't know exactly the words, but
I don't know what this is going to give. This is
that's why I like it.
That's interesting.
Don't know what we're going to get.
Yeah, I mean, it's got several beaks.
Yep, could be singing.
Polybecalism, is that a thing?
It is now.
It is now. Yeah.
It is now.
Right now. Oh, here. Let me check if I.
Okay, we got 2 minutes.
I know. I need to see if Mary's ready.
Okay.
Come back. Sorry, Mary.
I'll close this.
I forgot that you can't see Mary, and I was looking at another screen. Hi, Mary.
Mary, we can't hear you. Oh, she's frozen.
Oh no.
I think she's frozen.
I think she'll. All right. Well, what do you think? Do you think there's one of these? Like, I actually really like this one.
Yep, that's my favorite for sure.
Yeah, let's do that one. We're gonna put that in our collection, and while you're singing, I will just show some of our previous drawings.
Awesome.
Of the, what I'm hoping people do, because I really want to, at this 4th week stage in the game, I want to challenge people to draw with us and to share your creativity online. So you can share it either on YouTube, you can share it on X, you can share it on a whole nother platform, along with a link to this broadcast.
Yes.
And I would say, the more, the sharier. And yeah, that's
the more the sharier. I like
the more
that.
the sharier. Is that a thing?
It is now. It is right now.
I love that. That should be definitely a constant question we ask. Is that a thing? It is now.
It is now.
Swan origami. There we go. All right. So
for those
go ahead, Mojo, if you want to close us up in a song, and I will post this and I'll start sharing some. Yes.
So before I sing, and then I'll go to our closing theme music, I just want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in. I say thank you to Dan, this is his brainchild, who invited me, and then we got Mary involved. Thank you to the 3 of you for the teamwork that we got. The teamwork makes the dream work here.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, and thank you to all people who tuned in, and also to our hosts, our sponsors in the Paraoke, the Paracoin XYZ people. So, and on that note, I'm going to close with the live song, and then we'll do our theme music on the way out. Woo. So until tomorrow, join us tomorrow for the Now Show. It'll be week 4, episode 2. Peace.
Bye,
upon a star, I'm scrolling and making where the clouds are far behind me, like trouble melts like lemon drops high above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, birds fly, and the dreams that you did. Why, oh, why can't I melts like heaven drops. High above chimney tops, that's where you find me. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. The dreams that you dare to, why, oh, why can't I? Dream on, people. Let the beauty of the origami of your life unfold as it should and as it will. All right, let's put our outro music on. Maybe if it'll work. Let's see what we got here. So what's happening with the demo?
It's happening right now.
All right. This was the Now Show with Dan, Austin, Mary, and Mojo. See you next time. See you tomorrow. Enjoy your now.